Hello, welcome to another Choi Basics video. Today I'll be concentrating on Tiger. It's important to say that you need a teacher when you're learning a martial art for loads of reasons. A good master will show you the energies and how they affect you when you're struck by them, and when you feel them person on person, you will understand them much quicker. My master, Master Omar, when he strikes you, you feel the energy coming through and you can understand the energy because you've actually felt it. You also need it for when you're sparring or fighting, so that you can have someone who spots to make sure you've got correct distance, you're not using too much energy, too much power, you're not too stiff, you're not too relaxed, your distance is correct from your opponent. And all these things that people make mistakes on quite easily, or if you're doing something that is a little dangerous, they're going to be there to safeguard you and make sure that everything stays controlled and you're using a high degree of skill rather than just brute force, which unfortunately the human ego tends to draw us towards. So in these type of things, you'll have to have a good instructor is absolutely imperative. So if you're on the south coast of England, look for Zheng Dau Lo, and you have for Choi you want Master Omar Now, so we're going to cover Tiger, and we're going to do some exercises, get ourselves warmed up. It's already very warm in here because the weather is very hot. I can't demonstrate the technique to another person because the coronavirus pandemic is everywhere, so we are in self-isolation at the moment. And so I will show you as best as I can with only one person. Another good reason why it's a good idea to have a martial arts instructor. So let's start at the very beginning. Let's loosen up. Remember, don't go and do anything that's too that was going to injure you. So don't push yourself too far. Just as far as you can go. Don't overextend, especially now, as you don't want to be going into a hospital and giving the NHS any more to do than I need. So your feet together. King Lao bow. And it softens your gong. Allow the body to fall and relax. The weight of your body falls into the floor. Feel your lungs, your body expands. Your arms become light. Exhale. Allow your arms to fall and the weight to go into the floor. Then inhale again. Feel the whole body filling with air. And relax. Crown lifted, tail low. Just one more breath. I'm going to expand the back. It's important to do these exercises to prevent injury. And relax. Expand. Expand from the middle of your body. So you're not pushing up with your arms, you're expanding from the middle, and that expanding energy reaches the end of your fingertips and then moves back to the centre of your body, into the floor, into the ground. I'm going to swap. I wonder what interesting background noises we'll get today during our training. And breathe in. And relax. Good. Look left. Right. Look left. Ensure your chest is up, your head is lifted. Look right. So we're going to be like this as we're doing it. Look left. Look right. Look left. And look right. To the ceiling, expanding the chest. To the floor, elongating your spine. With your breath, expand your chest to the ceiling. And with your breath, elongate your spine to the floor. And relax. You get the motion that go to the sides. You can see the connectivity between the shoulder and the hip. As you move round, and your hip comes forward, and you move back, and your hip comes back. You've got a straight spine, and this is going to drive your arm round. The floor is your friend. Sink your weight into it. Once your weight is sunk into it, you can easily strike because you've got something to push off. We're not striking now. We're just being aware that we are connected to the ground and it is there to use at any moment you wish to use it. Very hard to have any kind of powerful technique while you're in the air. Normally it will be generated from the ground. And now the other arm. I hope everyone is healthy. Okay, swap and backwards. 1, and the other side. We'll soon get into tiger opposites. And the other way. Talk about the aspects of tiger for a little bit while we're doing these exercises. Turn and look at your hands, turn from the waist, soften the legs. So tiger is much about spirit as it is technique, at least in my view. Spirit of the tiger, where you're kind of aggressive animal. It'll sometimes sneak from nowhere, the long grass, and it'll attack with devastating claws. The clawing motion of the tiger can rip, can tear, can kind of gouge out big lumps of flesh. We don't have real claws because we're human beings, but we do have fingers. We have the bones at the end of our fingers, which traditionally would have been hardened through press ups and conditioning. Don't tend to do that so much these days because various health reasons we don't do that these days. You want really good guidance if you can do things like that. That's certainly something that should not be in the video. But we can do the basics of it in the video. Choi foot was designed for the battlefield, to fight fast, multiple opponents. Bit greedy really, but you can't spend a long time fighting one opponent when you're on a battlefield, because some you come up behind you and just stab you. So you have to keep moving and create circles by distance so that nobody can come near you and you're constantly all the time your target. Okay, so which is the idea of Choi foot, constantly moving, and that's why the footwork in Choi foot is so important. Okay, we've done a bit of the arms, we've done a bit of the chest. Let's get the abs turning. This is an important exercise because if you watch the last Choi foot basics video, you'll know of the circles that we use in Choi foot. And they travel round this way, or round this way, or round this way, as we create energy. One force borrows energy from the other force. So if one side of the wheel goes down, the other side of the wheel goes up. And of course, you may understand centripetal force or centrifugal force. And these, or the idea of trebuchet, is a good analogy for the way that Choi foot uses energy from one part of the body and moves it around in circular motion to another. So if this is easy and you're high, and you're a bit higher, go down into a lower stance now. Warm the legs up. Keep your tailbone tucked in. Keep your head raised high. Sometimes it's nice to do an exercise for a while because you start feeling the aches and the pains in your body. So sometimes you just do an exercise like this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and you'll find the parts of you that ache, you'll find where you're holding the tension, you'll find where you're weak, and you'll be able to make yourself stronger in those areas. We're not going to do it for that long today, but this is a video, so you can press pause anytime you like and just pick one aspect of the video to practice. And especially the last video, it's quite long. I don't expect anyone to do that in one go. I expect people to have a look at a section, try and learn that section, and then move on to the next section when they feel they have a good understanding of it and they've done it enough. And when you go to class, get your teacher to check it. We'll get the legs a little bit more warmer. So we're just going to come down here, kneeling stance, come forward, I'm going to come up, come back. 1, 2. If this is hard for you, and that's fine. If you're a bit older and you find it hard to get up, this is actually a very good way to get up off the floor if you've ever tried to, because you're not putting pressure on these. Most people will do this. There's a lot of pressure at this moment on this knee, or they'll try and kind of do this, and it's quite difficult. You know, this way you're rocking back onto this back foot. And by the time you've got to that back foot, you're already halfway up, and you haven't actually used hardly any strength to get from there to there. You're already halfway up. So it's a very good, effective way of getting up. Also for manual handling reasons, if you're trying to lift an object, say this chair is a bit heavier than what it is, and you want to pick it up, you can, that is putting strain on your legs, yeah? Here, it's close to your body, and then you can walk off with your object. Put that in your health and safety training videos. Yeah, he did, man. Yes, anyway, I told my health and safety department about that when they showed us a manual handling course, and he went, that's brilliant, I'll put it in my course. So there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. Nice. Go back into horse riding stance. Now you can go just to here if you want to. Your hand on your knees. If you want support, you can have your hand on your hips if you're a bit stronger. Go to here. If you're even stronger and you've done a reasonable amount of training and you feel you're ready, you come to here. We go 1, we go the other side, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Try and remain as soft as you can when you're doing those, because you can again use the floor, because if you sink into the floor, less tension you've got on your thigh, more goes into the floor, and then when you've reached as far as you can go, the bottom, some of the energy will come back and you can use that. Come back up. Your legs shake. Back into horse, and we do this similar. To up, 1, 2, 3, hands on the floor if you want to. 4, hands on your knees if you want to. 5, 5, hands out if you want to. 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and relax. A nice shake. Just open the legs up a little bit. We're going to open the back up a little bit now. I like this exercise. So we're going to bend from here. You're going to just fall forward, soften your back, soften your legs. Allow yourself to hang and relax. As you can tell, I'm not as flexible as I should be. But I am working on it. If you're not as flexible, a bit like me, just lay a hand here slowly, feeling any tension, releasing the tension, dropping, feeling any tension, releasing the tension and dropping. We become lower and lower. Your face might go red, bit of blood in your skin, that's fine. Might even stop you getting wrinkles. And bounces if you want to. Again, very soft. If you're brave enough, put your hand under your foot, your hand under your other foot, and lift your tailbone to the sky. Feel free to move around a little bit. And bend your knees and up. You don't want to be coming up like this, bad for your back. You want to bend your knees, come up. So your tailbone falling, lift your head. It's heavy. No one likes to admit it, but people's butts are heavy. If you drop that, head comes up, nice. Okay. Have a little shake. We're gonna just open our waist again a little bit more. We just opened our back. Then we're going to do something a little bit harder. Okay. So what I'm going to do is stood up first. So you're blocking across, coming up, over and down. Blocking across, coming up, over and down. Lovely light again. Moving across, coming up, over and down. Now if that's easy, then you just widen your stance and come all the way down. Touch the floor, come across, come down, touch the floor, come across, come across. Again, feel free to pause the video at any time. Just spend some time doing the exercise. If you're keen to get on to learning aspects of the tiger form, then move on with me. I learned something last time I did this video. Apparently my door was upside down. Who knew? What a comment to go on a video. Upside down door. So you learn something new every day. I didn't fit the door. It's always been there. I never knew it was upside down until someone pointed it out. It's a good example of why you need a person who's skilled. A person who is skilled who saw that door was upside down, knew it was wrong. That's why you need an instructor. When you do something wrong, they're there to help correct it. Okay, so we're now going to go on to what we see. We've done shoulders, we've done waist a little bit, we're loosening, we haven't done strengthening yet. Done the legs, a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of loosening. So we're going to go up to the body and do some press ups. If you can do it several ways. I'm going to go here. If you want, you can go on your knees, because we're going to go on our fingertips, and you can just come down from your knees and up. This is some people might go, oh, that's the easier way. It's the easier way. Yeah, but you do more of them. If you do it the hardest way, and you think, yeah, I can do 3 the most hardest possible way that I could do it, which it would be from this position, coming down, then you will do less, do fewer. So it's best when you do this to actually do it the easier way. Don't worry about if you think it's weaker. And also, people tend to have their fingers like this, spread, but actually it's like this. So your tips of your fingers are on the floor, there, as you do your press up from your fingers. If you can't do it with your fingers at all, you might have a problem. You can do it with your fist. Keep your fist aligned so it's not like this, but it's aligned with the body, or you can do it with your palm. Fist is always better than palm. Let's do some of those. Fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. Nice. Already it's nice. If you want to, you can use a wall. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you can do it from your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And relax. Shake out your fingers. A little bit of this is nice after you've done some tiger press ups. That's a few clicking noises there. A bit of a shake is also nice. Okay. Now do some on your knuckles. Got a chair actually. Let's have the chair in there. Chair involved, if you've got one. Start off with ordinary press ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the chair, change the angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's do one slow. And relax. Change the angle again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Chair's creaking, I'm a bit worried about that. Good. If you've got a chair, we'll do tricep dips from a chair. If you haven't, you can do it from the floor on your knuckles. So, that. Bit rubbish. You need to be elevated if you can. Here, and 1. And relax. And again. Good, just warm the legs up a little bit more and you'll be ready. Depends how much room you've got. Start wherever you can. Just step forward, swing the leg. If you run out of room, just turn, go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can do it going in direction. Someone could attack you from anywhere. You might want a groin shot. It's really an exercise rather than a kick. We can go to the side now. 1, 2, if you want to, hold the wall. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And relax. I'm just swing across in front and then out to the outside. Across in front and out to the outside. Watching for light bulbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, you can do this low. 7, 8. Didn't have to go so high. It's how high you can go. Some people do that and brush their nose. It's ridiculous. Right, okay. Right, and the other people, like me, can only go so high. And do the same, instead of going across from the inside to outside, we can go outside to inside. So it's going to come up and across. It's right in the hip. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it's going to be done live. 5, 6, 7, 8. On the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and keep the spine long. 5, 6. Try not to go like this. 6, 7, 8. Good. Relax. We go. We'll use the wall for this one. We've got a wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. So we go up onto our toes. Up onto our toes. Tap the floor. That will stay down. 1, 2. So you're tapping heels. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So your energy is going straight into the floor. Do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Energy is going into the floor. 4, 5. If you bounce like I did a couple of times on the first go round, it's because you had tension. 6, 7, straight into the floor. 7. The energy go hump, goes into the floor and stays there. If it bounces back up, it's because you have tension. So try and release that tension. That's going to come in handy as we go through aspects of Tiger. So we're going to start that now. So we have our feet together, hands by our sides, towel dropped, head high. We're going to bring our fists in to our sides, and then we're going to open hands. I'm just going to do the first movement, which is a block down, like this. So drop, our weight drops through exactly like we just did with the tapping the heels. Our weight drops, boom, straight down. Let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we swap the other hand behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can add footwork in now. Same dropping motion. Leave the hands out for a minute. And step around and drop. From the side, your foot goes around in a curl, your knee drops behind, your head is up. From the front, the foot comes forward, around and down. If someone's leg's there, you can actually, this part of your foot locks their heel to the ground while this one comes in, and you can easily send someone to the floor with this twisted stance. Can't show you, there's no one here. Lock down. Okay. Shoulders relaxed. And 1. Back. 2. And back. And 3. And back. And 4. And back. Thinking of your waist turning, like in this motion here. Also falling, as in tapping your heels. 5. 6. 7. 8. And do it the other way. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay, relax. We've done this both sides, and we're going to add the arms in together. So we're tying in the top half and the bottom half. Another tip for martial arts is, especially with Choi foot, I think, if you're doing a movement and you're not getting them, the things aren't landing right, your distance is out, you're twisting, you're overextending, usually the first thing to check is footwork, the lower half of your body. If the lower half of your body is out, you cannot correct your upper half of your body. So therefore, if you first think of the top half of your body You could spend ages trying to get it right, and you'll just be twisting yourself more and more and more, overextending or underextending or tension or whatever it is you're doing wrong, over and over the top half without being able to correct it. It's because you didn't start from the root. Rooting is the most important part. Legs. If there's something wrong, check legs first, always. It's a key. Okay. Now we add this in together. We're going to start from here. I'm going to cross. I'm going to come down here. So crosses in front and turns. And 1. Back. And 2. And back. And I'm going to explain what this is for, then we're going to do that. So the kick is coming in like this. Someone's fighting you. And then boom, they've come for a kick. They want your groin, or they want you underneath your thigh, whatever they're after. It's not going to be very nice. So your reaction is to block across here. So you want to trap them in this V area here. However, if you just stayed there, you're going to have to take the impact through your shoulders, which is why your shoulders are set down in a lap. So if your shoulders are up like that, and that kick comes in, it's just going to travel you backwards. You only have to try and push with your shoulder back, and you feel you have no power. When your shoulder forward and set and push, you can see you're connected. So if you're connected, you can just allow yourself to be soft in the middle, and that's where you'll give, which means you're now moving around their energy. Yeah. So as you come in here, you're coming over. Now this is going to come under their leg. So you here, this drop brings this hand underneath their leg, and it lifts afterwards underneath the leg, and this one strikes down. We'll do that part in a moment. The important part first for this is this motion here, bringing the leg around and getting your energy underneath their leg. So you can strike. Okay. So here, 8. 1. 2. 3. Opponents here. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay, other side. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay, we're going to have the extra move in, which is this expanding, opening and dropping. Okay, so we're just going to practice this stood up with our knees bent before we incorporate it into the last set of techniques. If you want to carry on practicing the other ones, remember this is a good time to pause before we add in this movement. So we're going to come up, expanding the chest, coming out, falling at your hips and the elbows, and then your fingers will extend downwards by dropping. Boom. Here. If you're going to do it all the way through, just relax. You can just come here and relax just to here. It's more difficult first, so first we're going to go all the way down and all the way up. So you can maintain your looseness without trying to retract and stiffen. So move back. That light bulb's going to get it at some point. I know. Got it last time. Broke it. Okay. Luckily I'm an electrician. So coming up here. 1. All the way down. 2. 3. 4. Explain movement, but it's 4. 5. Just concentrate on the feeling for now. 6. Weight falling through your elbows, through your hips, into the floor, and soft, and your arms come up. 6, 7, 8, another 8, 1, 2, 3, up, expanding the body, releasing, expanding through the elbows and the hips, energy falling through the fingers. 7, 8, good. Now we're going to do it with the spring. So I'm going to come closer so you can see chest motion. So as you come in here, you, yeah, right angle. Let's go here. As you're coming here, you use the chest to raise it back up. So if you just were to have your hands wide and you were to breathe, that brings your hands up, that sinks your elbows to your hips, that brings your hands up, that sinks your elbows and your hips. So it's the same idea for the spring. As you're coming here, you're releasing and expanding and dropping. Coming down, releasing, letting the air out, and the air coming in helps you raise. Breath is very important for martial arts. Now you can all stop looking at my chest, perverts. Okay, right. Here we go. Oh. Coming up. Relax. Coming up. Two. Just in the middle. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and relax. Good. Now we can tie that into the first movements we've already done. So feet together, hands by your side, your feeling of your crown being lifted and your tower falling, arms relaxed, bring them into your side, and stepping across here, blocking. Your opponent's there, so you want to be looking at your opponent, coming up and across. See the kick is coming in, you're coming under the kick, you're lifting the leg, you're striking here while they're unbalanced. And you can return. 1. That's a little stiff. 2. So that. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Other side. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Good, so you've learned the first part of the tiger form. Okay. Have a little drink. I'm going to grab a glass of water and we'll carry on. Water is good. Okay. Next part of the form. Feet together. I'm going to gather in. I'll stand from the side for this. You can see the body first. So we're going to come up, expand the back, and it's like you're hugging something. Tailbone is falling, your crown is lifting, fingertips touching, and again you're releasing your elbows into your hips, you're falling into the floor, and then just release your hands, come up, gather in, back expands, shoulders expand, fingertips touch, and you drop, and then just let it go into the floor, release, gather in, expand the back, look into the horizon if you want to while you're doing this, sink into the floor, release, gather up, fingers together, and release. Relax, all the way into the floor, expand again from the middle, up round the back. See this from the front, fingers together, sink into the floor, expand through the back, fingers together, and sink into the floor, and release. Okay, purpose of this technique. You don't need to see feet too much, someone comes a little closer, someone's trying to strike you, jab or cross or kick, doesn't really matter which. As the energy is coming at you at speed, you can have your arm on top of their arm that's hitting you, and you release and sink. So their punch, if you can imagine, this is a crane, like an industrial crane, and if you have the weight here on the arm, you can have twice as much weight here on the crane as you can here. You can only have half the amount here that you can have here because of the working envelope and working loads. So here you can have twice the load you can have there. So you can imagine as a punch comes in and you're on top of their arm, if you sink in the way that we've just done into the floor, you're essentially putting your body weight, your entire body weight, on the end of their crane, yeah, of their load. So it takes very little to stop. They will then, so as they punch, strike or kick, their punch will go like this, which will go like that, or the kick will go like that, and they'll become overextended. In the moment they're overextended, they are less extremely flexible, which is why flexibility is so important. They usually become unbalanced, and unbalancing your opponent is one of the major ways you can win a fight. So the moment you've done that, you've unbalanced, you would strike here, strike, or if you would here, you would strike, or here, you would strike with whatever comes in naturally at the time. Okay, if it's a leg, again here, to bring it down, you could even hook the leg with his hand, drive your elbow in there, and then just strike, driving the elbow into this part of someone's leg is not socially acceptable. Right, okay, right. Let's have another sip of acid. Right. So it's here. So we're going to practice this motion single-handed, the same idea, single-handed for a little while, because principle is very important. So you need to imagine something's coming towards your face, trying to punch you in the face, and you rest here. So just notice the circle again that we did with the wheel. It's going round, down into the floor. around and down into the floor. That's what lifts them from the ground. They put the rear of them from the ground, which allows, so it means their face is coming towards you. Because when you do punch them, it's two cars hitting head on. You're gaining a lot more energy for your amount of energy you're putting out. More bang for your buck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sinking. 6 at the hip. 7, 8. Relax at the elbow. Elbow's not up here. Elbow's here, it's connected. Here, disconnected. From your body, here, connected. So at the punching, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For those that are a little higher up, you can come here, punch here, kick here. Okay? For those who might find it harder, just here, here, and another punch. Okay? I will do 8 with the kick, and then on the other side I'll do 8 with the second 2 punches. So 1, 2, 3. Just an idea, so you can think of the openings. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fat, because we're concentrating on tiger, let's change that fist to a tiger claw. 1, 1, tiger. 2, tiger. 3, tiger. 4, tiger. 5, tiger. 6, 7, chow. 8. Other side. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. With the 2 punches, 1, 2. If you want to do kick, 1, 2, or backwards. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to do the claws. We're doing an aspect of tiger. Five, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. So you can see that front on. 1, 2, 3. 1, absorbing. 2, claw. 3, claw. Good. Demonstration of the claw using the famous Lynx gold. You go around and grab, or tear, like such, or you reveal the flesh and grab. So if you've got something fleshy like me, push that up and then it's a nice bit of flesh pokes out here, so now you can really grab into that piece of flesh and tear away or tear down. Looking at my chest again. What's wrong with you lot? Okay. So how this motion. From this motion, we are going to be as soft with our feet as we can. Drunken Step is way of, don't know if it's exactly Drunken Step, it's very similar if it's not. So you are collapsing and collapsing and collapsing. Okay? So you're stepping across and your weight is sinking into the floor. This leg is swinging around and your weight sinks into the floor. At this motion, you want to fall that way. So you stick your leg out and you drop and you fall. Okay? This drop and the fall brings your energy the right way. So we're going to practice this slowly and then a little quicker. So feet across, going to step. You've just done here, we've just been here. So you're stepping across, you're stepping out, you're dropping your weight through the floor, facing your opponent. Like I say, if something's going wrong, feet first, so we practice feet first. Step across, sink, sink, and out. See how this heel turns out, get that ass piece. So you're falling, and you're falling. This turn will drive forward. When you put the tiger claws in a minute, then the feet movement will make more sense. But it's good to break it down and just to feel falling, falling, falling. Falling. All the time, keeping your spine long, keeping your hip relaxed, keep your tail down. So yielding, softening, like I think that's why it's called Drunken Step. You know, I'm sure a few of you have been drunk before, but you're not sure where the ground is, so your feet kind of stumble everywhere. Okay, right. Here, and 1, 2, 3. Fall, fall, fall. Energy coming this way. Fall, energy going that way. Fall, fall, energy going this way. Fall, fall, fall. Good. I'm going to go the other way. Fall, fall, fall. Energy going this way. Falling, falling, falling. Falling, falling, falling. Falling, falling, falling. Nice. And falling, falling, falling. Energy coming this way. Good. So now see if we can keep that going both ways, backwards and forwards now, with no breaks and stops in the middle. Go. Fall, fall, fall. Step, fall, fall, fall. Step, fall, fall, fall. Step, fall, fall, fall. Step, fall, fall, fall. Make sure the movement finishes on the last bow, and then as you're doing the cross steps, landmarks, or the drunken steps, whatever you need to call them. No mention of unicorns here, please. And martial arts joke there. Okay. I'll leave that there. So if you want to carry on practicing that bit, you can pause there. Practice that for a while. If you're ready to carry on, because you're amazing, then we'll add the hands in. So here, we just drop down here. We block. Our weight is falling into the palm. Our weight is still falling into the palm. It's falling, and then this, the energy going this way, is now in his hand, palm. And claw. And we drop back. And we grip the arm, tearing at the flesh. I'll show you some places you can grab on arms that hurt in a minute. And then you can cover over behind your elbow, press, come into the claw again. Let's go through that again. So we're blocking, we're falling, we're doing the next step, we're dropping, and this hip and this hand come forward and grab. This is then gripping. This is coming over the top, behind the elbow, falling and gripping. Remember, if this is falling here, you only have to realise if someone pushes this down here, any tension you've got, bring the head forward. So if you're doing this here, this is going to just bring their face into your claw. You can take their eyes out, take their throat out, whoever happens to be available. Not recommended for real life. It's much better to like people, even if they nick your parking space. Okay. So here, 1, 2, 3, lock, locking, holding, breaking, tearing, covering, clawing, avoiding, kick coming in, gripping, ripping, breaking, blocking, clawing. And now the other way, blocking, over, nice piece of symmetry, clawing, ripping, breaking, covering, clawing, dropping, avoiding, kick, so try to kick this way. Claw, rip, break, claw, avoiding, claw, rip, break, claw, avoiding, stepping, claw, rip, break, claw, avoiding, stepping, claw, rip, break, claw, avoiding, stepping, claw, rip, break, claw. Good, practice that in your own time. A few tips on where to, for the grabbing and breaking. When you're breaking, you're not doing this with your arms, there's no strength, it's your body is the part that's moving. One will be behind the elbow, the other will be gripping the wrist, so you've got a point to break here, so one's going up here, one's going out and down there, which pulls and splits like you do with the chicken thing, the chicken bones, when you break them to see good luck, who gets a good luck. If you do that, the chicken doesn't get the good luck, so the elbow doesn't get the good luck, you know. So that's that splitting and the tearing idea. There's a nice valley here in the arms. You can dig the claws in there, and it's not very nice along here. So for that one underneath, it's a nice place to grab there, and on the outside there's a point there on the arm. It's a nice point. Poke your arm, find it. Doesn't work with everybody with nerves and points, because some people's are deeper and it just doesn't work with them. If you're one of those lucky people, then good for you. If you're one of those people that hurts when they grab you, you're the unfortunate chicken. Right. Okay, now we're going to go through the next motion in the form, and then we'll put it all together at the end. So we have this tearing motion next. Okay, so this is your back, your shoulders are going to create energy here as they round, expand. You're not doing this with your arms. Otherwise you're just using this, you can tell you're just using this muscle here, this bit here, and then you're not using your body here, you're using your body. So when your fingers meet resistance, the energy won't stop here, it'll carry on because you've got your shoulders are big and strong, yeah. So extension. You do this motion, okay, and you can in here break someone's neck, or you can tear. So we'll show you both applications. Well, the second application. Right. Okay. So this motion. Yeah. Still here. This is the motion. So we want to imagine a punch coming in, come behind the punch, you're gripping. This is a good place to grip on their arm if you're doing this. This one, and now your back is expanding, and this one is clawing the face. Clawing the face. This one's gripping the arm underneath the elbow here. There's another pressure point. If you can grab in there, just in there, you can find it. So if you can grab that while you're doing it with your claw, very useful. So as the punch is coming in, you're moving around the punch, around, yep. Here, dropping your towel around, gripping, punch now, here. Back is expanding and you're clawing. Let's practice this. Punch is coming in, you're going around the punch, gripping, clawing. Let's practice 8 of those. Round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1. I'm just coming in and round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. That's this movement here. Remember, shoulders and the back expanding. If you want to use breath, Breathe in, everything expands, you see your hands want to come apart. You let the breath out, your hands want to come together. So you're using that feeling of the breath, that expansion. Okay, the next movement is this one. Nice movement, this one, nice movement. So you're from the side, your arms straight, something I got corrected for recently. I used to do it like this. And your finger points down. Support your finger here. So your energy is actually going like this, but your arm is going forward and down. And the reason your energy is going like this is because you use your body. I'll show you the body from over there. But you want this motion going down. You can equally go round, as for an application, go round or go down. If you're going down, you're aiming in here, down, or in these soft parts here, down, or you're supporting their back here, you're raising their chin here, and then you're going through their eyeball here. Don't ever do that in real life, really, it's just no need, ever. But you know, battlefield tactic, you know, different. Someone's got a knife, you've got no knife. You might not have a choice. So, we'll do this. The next motion is done with two hands at the same time. So it's like together. Boom, boom, boom. Inside. Boom, boom. If you're using it as an attack, single, here, boom, or here, boom. So let's practice doing the single attacks for a minute, so we've got a feeling of the practicality of it. Again, covering palm here to come, strike here. 1, 2, finger strike. 3, 4, look at the body. Is that weird again? Yeah, it's going down. And the energy here going down is being fed back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the wheel's going to go this way. The wheel's going this way. 1, 2, 3. So you're releasing into the floor. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other side coming in this way for the sake of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. From the side you'll be aiming to the neck, to these points, or the ear, or without to be looking over there, the face. Normally it's you can't reach round, something's blocked, but you can still reach with the finger. So you're blocked. Someone's blocked you here, their face is here, and you just go round and poking them in the face. See, their face is closer, you know. That way. The other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is this motion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next motion is here. Is here. Okay. And together. Okay. And the other motion is here. So we're going to practice these two together, I think. Otherwise, it will. They're very similar principles. It's just one's inverse to the other. So here, here. Ooh, so I'm getting told off. Right. Okay. So here, boom, and here. So same thing. If you want to come behind someone's blocked, someone's blocked, and you want to come behind, and the thing you're trying to hit is here in front. You can still get in. Sometimes that's all it takes is a flick. It can be very distracting if it's someone in the eyes, especially, and you get that shot and they flinch. If you can punch, most martial artists can punch 6 times a second. I was timed at 7, just about. On a machine once in Seni, and so if you can make someone blink and they blink for half a second, that's time for you to do 3 punches, and after you've done 3 punches, you've got so much time now on your hands, you can do another 3 usually, you know, and by which time they should be incapacitated. So this can be just a nice little opener. This little flick here, boom, and now this flick here. This flick here is not in, it's under, scooping, a scooping motion. Like in Hands with Clouds, Hands Like Clouds, not with clouds. You know, this motion, this coming underneath, it goes in and up. If you just poke your own ribs, you can straight on, like that, you can feel, that's okay. It's a bit uncomfortable. Now if you go up, under, it's not very nice. For beings we're concentrating on claw a bit today, if you get this in and you have got it underneath that rib, you can then get your thumb in there and you can grab the bottom 2 ribs and squeeze them together with the flesh, and your opponent will just be, the tears will be rolling down her eyes then. I know it's happened to me. You know, it's not crying, it's tears because it hurts. But it's like, oh, and then what can I see? So with this motion here underneath, it gets you in. You're in. Boom, grip, tear, pull. You can. A good martial artist will be on the outside of you while they're doing that. So they're here, and you're here, and you're and you can't move, and they just can walk you around where they like because you'll just go because you don't want to fight. It just hurts. Okay, so the 2 motions. 1 flick, 2 flick. 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 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's do that singly. Go over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's add the claw in. 1, 2, 3. Remember when you're clawing, doing this motion here, the claw motion, it's not this really, this muscle that's doing the it's your shoulder, it's the back of your shoulder here. It's bringing that claw in. Okay, so because you need this to be loose while you're gripping still. So any kind of motion they try and move away from you, you'll be able to follow it and still keep the grip on them. And plus that's a lot stronger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2, no grip at this one. 3, 4, just concentrate on the flick. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now with the grip. 1, 2. Remember, just scooping up like hands with clouds. Hands with like clouds. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Another hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. That's this motion. Next motion we have is this motion. Boom, and the body moves. Boom. So again, it's the necessary for the hips and the elbows to move together. Boom, in this part. Yeah, so as the elbows drop, boom, the hips drop. Boom, boom. Just do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The other point is, the idea of this technique is someone's tried to grab you here. You don't want to be fighting it here. You want to go against the thumb by gain yourself another elbow. So you've got your shoulder, your elbow, your second elbow, and your wrist. It's not really a second elbow, but you can imagine. So if they've grabbed here, you pivot on that joint, this second elbow, and then you can go against their thumb. They can no longer hold. And now when you drop your shoulder and your elbow, at the same time it breaks that grip. And then you want to come forward like this. Boom. Okay, so you grip over, grip over. Okay, into the so imagine someone's gripping your arm here and you're coming, this is your new pivot point, so you might have to move your body in because you can't pull your arm in because it's being stopped by their grip. And you don't want them to know that you're about to come out. So if you pull like this, they know you're fighting. Move your body in. They don't know you're fighting yet, so they're not even going to try and stop you. And then when you do this motion, boom, it's instant for them. So they'd have to act instantly to stop it. People generally can't act instantly. There's normally a delay. But it's pretty instant with touch. A lot slower with vision. It's another thing to think of. So you're here and you're coming over and you drop. So you're here, you're coming over, you come in and you drop. When you're here and your feet together and you do it, you do both at the same time and you drop. So you come, you fall your weight into the front of your toes and boom, drop your weight through your elbows. and extend, boom, your fingers. That's to show where your energy's going. It could also be a strike, boom. I like it as a strike as well, but I'm not sure if it is a strike as well. So I would ask your instructor, I would ask mine when I see him, Master Omar. I'm going to put it as a strike today, but don't take it as necessarily what it is in that form, but it could be. So here, over, drop. 1, 2, this is just the dropping motion, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, weight into the front of the toes and drop off, 8. Now we're going to extend, add the other section in, 1, 2, 3, 4, again you could then grip again at that point, 5, 6, 7, 8. So going into the revealing the flesh again, I'll do it with my hip, my ribs this time. So you're pushing this way, you'll be pushing down. So if you extend it here like this, you'll be pushing the flesh down, and you could grab some flesh then. And I'm getting slimmer, thankfully, so there's not as much to grab. And then when you've got that, you can tear any way you want that flesh. I mean, just doing that hurts a bit. So this coming in might not necessarily strike that hard, but it will reveal the flesh, which you can then grab, like I'm doing with my t-shirt, and then pull. Okay, so here you're at the lock, you've revealed their flesh, and you claw in and you grab a nice chunk of flesh. If you're doing that with both their hands here and you're pulling in there, most people you think, oh, they're going to punch you in the head. Possible, but unlikely in a way, because the pain it drops you like this, so you can't actually get your arm up to punch much, you know, and you wouldn't be there long. You just go bang, and then when the head's forward, you come up with a nice uppercut or an elbow, or raising forearm strike, or a knee, or backwards kick, or you might want to come down with an axe kick, or you might want to come down with a forearm strike or a hammer strike, or Buddha arm strike. So you really, it's you know, it's again, it's something that causes pain. It contorts the opponent. They're unbalanced and smothered at the same time. Really, I'd say at that point, momentarily their mind's a fog. You can just open targets. Okay, so someone's grabbed your arm, you're round, here, real flesh tiger. Let's have that. Here, round, reveal the flesh, grip, tiger, and we'll have that as a representation of an upper strike, and then we'll have that as a representation of a strike that may have come from above if they're bent over. Okay, so go 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do it the other side now. 8. Okay, so you've got to represent, you've got an idea of that if you want to practice those. That idea in each section again, go through, break it down in each section, the roll, drop of the fingers, the extend, the grab, and the 2 strikes. In the form it's just that, boom. Okay, but it's nice to know what it does, and ideas around it. Otherwise, you're just doing movements and it's dancing if you don't know what they're for. Okay. Next is the gathering and the clawing. Gather and claw. Gather and claws. Gather and claw. So this is, I see this as someone's trying to hook, or come in with a sao Choi, or any of these kind of motions coming in from this way, a bridge hand maybe, ridge, or even a kick coming from that angle. Anything coming from there, you're blocking by going, meeting and following that technique that's coming round. It's coming like this, you're meeting and following, meeting and following, meeting and following. So if the two are coming in, you would be meeting and following both. You wouldn't really be doing that with both, you'd be doing it one or two. You could do it both if someone did that, but it's not likely. But there are techniques to do this. You know, so boom, boom, boom. So there are techniques to move like this. So what we want to do is practice it as it is in the form, and then practice it as it could be used as a technique, and then we'll move on to the next bit. So round, let's get the movement right, boom, boom, boom. So round and claw, 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 and round and claw. When we get to the end of the form, I'll do a few techniques that aren't in the form. Round and claw. And I'll discuss a little bit about how you can find more ways, more adaptable. Oh, good. Round. Okay, now we'll do it as a technique single. So if someone is coming in with a hook, coming around this way towards your head, you're coming round. That's the round, and then inside and clawing. So round, hang on, let's get it right, round, claw, yes. So you're coming round, following their technique, you're carrying your energy around in this wheel, the wheel going this way. You're the Choi, the 5 wheels this way, and then you're then bringing the wheel back the other way and clawing. So 1, 2, 1. Claw here, we'll do that, and claw 2. So 1 following the wheel coming around, which brings this one in nicely for you, and then you're going to bring the claw back, claw back, 2, following it round, 1, 2, following it round, 1, 2, following it round, 1, 2, that represents this motion, following it round, 2, following it round, 2, and then the other way, following it round, 2, following it round, wheel going around, following it round, 2, following it round, 2, following it round, 2, so it's going here, 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 round, 2, round, 2, round, 2, good. And that's the claw, this part. Yeah, could also be grabbing the chest again and raking down the chest. It could be grabbing the face and raking down the face. It could be grabbing the side of the face, grabbing the ear and pulling the ear down and out. It could be someone's shoulder, someone's bicep, tricep. you know, sky's the limit. Could be someone's hair, grab, pull, yeah. That's why I've got my hair nice and short. That and it's locked down and can't go to a barber's. All right. Next. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. So the next, we're going to start with our hands here. There's a noisy kid outside. It's kind of a little bit frustrating. Hold on a minute. He's always noisy. Okay. So you're here, the hands in, to the side, and you're going to drop the gun. You're going to be slightly leant forward. You're on your toe here, and you have a leopard fist. Leopard fist is like this. Yeah. Some people do it like this, with the thumb supporting the fingers, and they're striking with these knuckles, like this. But the problem with that can be, as you strike here, they'll give because they haven't got really good support. If you're here, it's straight right way through the wrist, so you can really get some good support when you strike in with these, like that. And these fingers here can be tight in. Leopard fist. So, first technique here, covering palm. Someone's trying to strike you from this angle, so you cover and you strike. So it could be, imagine a boxer. We fight boxers. We've got a big Chinese kickboxing section in Zheng Dau Lo, so we get to spar with kickboxers and things, which is really nice because they fight differently, and you have to learn to move and adapt differently. So they'll say someone does a hook to the head, or they might do a kick to the head or something like this. As they do this kind of motion, you might want to go underneath that motion and strike low. Yeah, so it doesn't matter what they do now, it's above your head, it's gone. Yep. So it's practice this technique, going in the 2 directions that you'll need to do for your form. So feet together, jump, 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Going the other way. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Against that wheel, yeah? Going that way. 7. 8. Good. And relax. Now if you can imagine the wheel for a minute, anything coming up is the active part because it's the expanding part of the body, because it's working against gravity, because it's going up, working against gravity. The other side of the wheel is going down, working with gravity, so it's the yin, and you can relax. So here, yin, boom. Yeah. If both sides of the wheel could have the benefit of gravity, so gravity that way and gravity that way, you'd have a perpetual motion. Okay. You'd be very rich. So we're going to move add the second technique in. 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. So 1, 2. Now the second one, the wheel's going this way and that way at the same time, which is nice, yeah? 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Good, other way. 1, 2. We move backwards on this one because that's how it is on the form. 1, 2 on this side, backwards. But you can practice both ways, going forwards and going backwards, because it's the important part is the understanding. 1, 2. One. I forgot I was doing the second bit then. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Good. You could also, with whenever you do a gua, you can always open your hand in you don't do this in the form, but for application, you can strike and then open your hand. So if you've hit someone's face, alright, you can then open and get a second shot, flick, yeah? Or if you hit someone there on the nose, you know if you extend your fingers you can get somewhere near their eye, so you can boom, boom, and you can open your hand afterwards. When you get 2, you get a strike and a flick, and the flick will actually loosen your arm, can give you more speed. It doesn't actually take any time. You're fighting at your combination. Okay. So now we're going to add in the next technique, because I think they're quite self-explanatory. This one coming down, shooting into the hip, into here, and if you can, aim the base of the spine or the opposite hip, and it's usually the most effective, but aim into the body, into the mass of the body. Okay, and with this one, bridging the nose, eyes, anywhere coming down at this angle really. And also with this one you can, instead of coming down, the form is coming down, but you can also come up, boom, easily, as well as coming round. You can come up just as easily, so it depends where it is. If they're blocking here already, you're not going to do that because it's already being blocked here, so instead you come here. With this one, you would just expand, boom, that way, so it would look like that. Yeah, yum, up. So if you want to practice those, you can. I'm not doing that now, it's not part of the form. But it's just an idea, keep it in your mind, practice it if you want to. The pause button is your friend. And if you're going to get a drink, I'm going to get another one in a minute. Okay, so we're going to go back to yum, up, turn, cover, claw. Okay, so yum, choi, gua, cover, chow, dropping punch, back fist, cover, claw. Dropping fist, back fist, cover, claw. Drop, cover, claw. Drop, cover, claw. Drop, cover, claw. Yum. Drop, cover, claw. Yum. Drop, cover, claw. Just look at that shot you've got there if you want it. Here, back, cover, claw. Okay, good. Other side. Yum. Back fist, cover, claw. Yum, Choi. Back fist, cover, claw. Yum, Choi. Back fist, cover, claw. Dropping punch, back fist, cover, claw. So, and look sure where you're gripping from, shoulder. Oh, good. Oh yeah, the next bit in. Yeah. Nice, it's just up here. So this motion is up underneath. Boom. It can be a few things. It could be if you had their hand and you caught it underneath, you could extend and break their arm. One under the elbow, the other grip like we showed earlier. So it could be a break. Because we've had a break already in the form, I like to think of it as going under the chin. And you could do the question mark technique, as I call it, which is you come under the chin and you form the shape of a question mark and press down. So what happens is your chin goes up, it goes out beyond its natural ability to go around, and then you've got no strength, you have no strength in your spine. So a little push down just floors you. Don't do that too much. Woo. Get out your back. Okay, so we're going to practice this motion. Think of a question mark coming up, round and down. I'm going to chase with the feet. I'm going to come up. So this back hip is dropping, this hip is coming forward, that gets you up. And you're going to step forward, and then for down you drop. If you want you to support their lower back so they can't, you're not supporting their lower back to be friendly, you're supporting their lower back so they can't go backwards. Yeah, otherwise someone try and push here, they just walk back. They can't go back and there's something stopping them here, that's what makes that correction. So, we can support their lower back here, this goes up, this is now on the top of their head and you fold them down to the floor. Here, and fold. Here, and fold. Here, and fold. And here, and fold. Other side. Here, and fold. Here, and fold. Remember it's a question mark shape, so it's up, over and down. Question mark goes up, over and down. Of course at speed you would slam him into the ground. Okay. Again, don't do that at home to anybody ever. Right, okay. only with a master in your class you can make sure that you do it in a safe and controlled manner. And with someone who has the mobility to be able to do that. Okay, so it's this motion. So we have upside down punch, qua, chow, up, drop, back, cover, claw, and up. So let's practice that as a nice routine over and over again. Nice little pattern, get a nice feel for it. We're a good way through the form now. So that's nice. It's not very long, but it's a form of 2 halves. We're nearly at the halfway point. Anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No master Omar told me off for this turn the other day, not long ago. He said I wasn't turning and pivoting quite correctly. Hopefully I'm doing it correctly today. Yum, back fist, claw, up. 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 Yum, back fist, claw. Okay. Want to get a quick drink of water? I suggest you do as well. Always sip water, give it a chance for your body to absorb it. I'm terrible for gulping water. I love gulping it. When it's cold and you're thirsty, gulp, gulp, gulp. It's really bad for you. Should sip it. Okay. Okay, so we're here. We're gonna learn this circular claw motion now. So I'm going to come close to the camera so you can see the top half. This is important. So you have to imagine I might have just a thing. Give me 2 seconds. Some air through. Okay, so this is someone's arm. Oh, that's going to knock the camera in there. Okay, this is someone's arm. You're coming on the inside. You're keeping it on the outside of you. You're coming round the outside, round the outside, round the outside. Yeah, you're using your body. If you just use your arm. Falls off here. You have no strength here because you're only trying to use your arm. And you have no strength here because you're just trying to use your arm. Yeah. What you do is you use your body to turn and that way you can keep the energy of their attack on the outside. I hope that was a reasonable enough demonstration. Don't want to do too much in case I mess the demonstration up. Okay, so it's the body that turns, that keeps the enemy's arm or limb of any description, any of the 5 limbs, this arm, that leg, and the head. So as the limb comes in, you gather round. You keep it on the outside of this, your arm, for this motion. Now, because we're doing claw, it's a claw with your hand. So as you do this motion, it's claw, claw, claw. And if you wanted to, claw, claw, claw. So this could be claw in the face, or the ear, this side of the face, or that ear, depending on whatever's facing you. This could be grabbing the monkey grabs plums. Grabbing. You'd only have to do that to reach underneath. If you come here, boom, you can grab, tear, strike. That's grabbing here. I'll demonstrate on the inside of my leg here, and then ripping and tearing away. From here, as a strike. Okay. So it's this. So you've come from here, you're extending the arm, and then now you're doing the body. One. Other one is protecting your armpit. You've got a floating rib here, funny enough. So you're protecting this one. And then when you want, you draw that back together, and this one comes out, takes its place. 1, 2, and you're drawing the hip back, which brings the arms back. The other arm comes out. So in the form it looks like this. You here, back fist round, claw, up, down, back fist round, claw, up, extend, circle, extend, circle, extend. Hand on the outside of the arm here, and you're going to slide up the arm. So your knee is high, your hand is facing the sky here, holding up the sky. This hand is facing the earth, pushing off the earth. Okay, and then slowly you can put this foot behind, turn, pivot, drop, and strike. This hand now supporting the sky, this hand chopping. You're going to come up like a biljong and a sweep, and you're going to turn, salute, salute, and that will be the end of the form. So practice 1, 2, out, 1, 2, and out. Let's go for the sides. You can see the hip. Out, 1, 2, 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 and then you clear here. You'll come up here high, supporting heaven, supporting the earth. Drop your foot back, turn, back fist. If their foot's here, you've just hit them in the groin, hopefully. If not, you've hit them in the rib, something like that. You would then hook their leg, sweep them, and strike. And you come round, salute, salute, and we'll finish there. But before I go through the whole form, we'll just do a few more tiger techniques to practice that are useful. Same guy. Okay, so next toga technique you want to do is someone is coming in with an arm attacking you this way, so they're gonna hit you in the head, right, in the face somewhere. And so what you do is you come around their arm and their head's here, and you grab the throat here, and you take the other arm here, and you hold it here, so you've got something to grip against there, yeah, and you've got your hip here to help you push up, okay, and then this is coming up and you're gripping the neck, the throat. Now if they try and rip away from that, you can just drop here and that breaks the arm, or you can drop here and that tears their throat. So, and because they're facing this way at the moment, they can't use their other arm to hit you because you've locked them up here, so they've got no way of turning to strike you. So they are pretty hopeless at that point. If you want to be even meaner, which seems a bit unnecessary, so the punch is coming in, you're gathering the punch, you're coming up underneath the punch, you're grabbing the neck, pushing up like this. This foot here can then go behind their leg, and then this knee here can push into their knee, and what happens is you twist their knee as well, and you stop them running away from you. So now you've got them at 3 points. You've got them rooted to the floor and their knees twisting, you've got their elbow and their elbow is being torn apart, and you've got their neck tightly in your grip. I'm going to have to name my staff something. I don't know what to call it. You know, there's no one I don't like that much. Okay, right. So that's the one technique. So we're going to practice that. Now you've got the idea of it. Someone's coming in, guiding, and you turn. Someone's coming in, guide, grab and turn. Someone's coming in, guide, grab and turn. Someone's coming in, guide, grab and turn. Closely. Something's coming in, guide, grab, turn. Okay. And then if you want to, the leg goes around, and then the hip drives into the ankle. That does the leg bit. So the leg goes round, and then the hip drives into the foot. Punch comes in, round, here. Punch comes in, round, here. Grip, boom. Punch comes in, round. Punch comes in, round. Yeah. Punch comes in, round. Punch comes in, round. Okay, good. Another is this technique comes underneath, which is really nice. It's handy. So you're fighting someone, and usually it's really good if you've kept them busy on the higher part of their body with a flurry of techniques. So they're overwhelmed, and they're just thinking, you've made them just think about that area because you've hit them so often. So you've got an enemy here, you're striking here, and at that point, as you're keeping them busy in this area with whatever techniques you've decided to use, then as they're busy there, you just drop. I do this here because the energy is going right through. So if you didn't do that, it would look like this. Forward, like this. Boom. I have here or here the two places you can stop your arm. So if you stop it here, you get an idea of it coming up. You get the feeling of it coming up. If you stop it here, you get the the feeling of the flick and the looseness that you have in your elbow. So both ways give you there. Now what you do is when you slap, you would then grab the plums. Don't know what we've got against plums, I mean, you know, but tear them away. Okay, so you're keeping them busy up here with a flurry of strikes, and then suddenly you drop down. Here, grab and pull and strike. Okay, so just do a random set of high strikes, anything that you want. So, and then come in, one, grab, pull, strike. Okay, so coming with a series of strikes, come high and then come low, grip. Same the other way. Flurry of any kind of high strikes you want, and then come in and strike. Coming forward, coming with a nice set of strikes, and then pull. Okay, good. So here, yeah. We try to foot wheels extend right out because we want to emphasise the body use of the body. Later on when you become more skilled, you can just do that. But if you forget the body, it doesn't work so well. So we always go, whoa. So we learn it's the body we're using. When you always know instinctually every time that it's so instinctual that you can't do it without your body, you can then start making it smaller. Okay, there's that one, rake. So the raking motion is up and down, so you've got to use your body. So I'm going to come up with this motion first, because it's a nice inside block, and it opens the hand up. It opens the hand up nicely to into a claw. It's not this one actually I'm thinking about at the moment, is this one. And then the rake comes down together with the body. So one is a block, two is a rake. Block, rake, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2. Notice the wheel. 1, going that way, yin, going down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And I think that'll do for extra ones, because what I will talk about very quickly is any techniques you know already. You can change your fist to a claw if you can. So if you know a form in your system or wherever you are, what you're doing, and you've got the principles of this form down, then you can say, well, okay, so the claw is from the shoulder. The claw goes around and grips. It reveals, or it can reveal the flesh and grip and pull and tear, or it can pull around, or it can come under the ribs and grip, or it can rake. And you have like a rip. Then you can apply that to whatever form you've got. Doesn't matter what form it is that you do. You can say, well, would this work here? Would this work here? Would this principle work here? Always work from principle. Yeah, because a principle can be used in a multitude of ways. As a technique can only be used one way. If you only concentrate on if they do this, you do that, and if they do that, then you do this, then every time they do something, you've got to look for a big thick catalogue and go, oh, which one should I do here? Oh, that one's the right one. Well, let's do that one, too late, you're dead. Right? So it's better to then have a principle, they're doing that. I'm going to use this principle, one of the very few principles. You know, I'm going to rotate this way, I'm going to rotate up that way, and I'm going to grip this way, this way, this way. So you've got like 4 things to think of, which will turn into one thing the more you practice it. So principles are much better to learn than single techniques. You start with learning lots of single techniques to understand the principle. Your instructor, like mine, Master Omar, will always guide you with the principles. Okay, the form from the beginning. Here, pull in, block across, come out, salute, salute, come in here, expand the back, fall into the floor loosely. Remember the idea of tapping the heels on the floor with your feet, just come in and you continue to sink, and you'll block, and you block, and you claw, and you drop, and you tear, and then you break, you cover, you claw, you step and you cover, and you're falling, you claw, you tear, you break, you cover, you claw, you open and break, you come jump up, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, around and claw, you pull in, you drop 1, back fist 2, cover, claw 3, you come up, question mark idea, young Choi, Gua, Chow, come up, extend, circle the body, extend, circle the body, extend, clear from behind, come up, press against the heaven, press against the earth, foot, toes point to the floor, relax, placing the foot back, turn, back fist hitting towards the ribs, drawing if you can get it, inside of the knee if you can get it, coming up, hooking the leg, sweeping, back fist, turning, salute, salute, in, and finish. Okay, that will conclude our Tiger Claw session for today. Now look, it's a spider doing press ups in the mirror. Okay, that concludes our Choi foot principles of Little Tiger for today. I think that's enough. Go away, practice, pause, check out the areas, practice, I would say, each single set of movements for 20 minutes. Just so you can feel every little ache, every pain, every piece of tension, every piece of inefficiency, and then go on to the next little bit and the next little bit, in which case it may take a while to learn it that way, but you will learn it better. Then you will need an instructor to go through it, and that's why you have gradings systems in martial arts, so no one falls through the cracks. And the system is not corrupted. Corrupting the system is something you never want to do intentionally. So you always want to make sure you keep the principles pure and the ideas pure. Choi foot's got so many forms, you can't learn them all, hundreds I think. But they're all there for you to learn the principles and different aspects of the principles. Okay, so have a nice time, look after yourself, be safe, stay at home, take the NHS, eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and train well. And when classes are open, Zheng Dau Lo will open their arms wide to you to come and learn. Bye. Oh, not by. Very nearly doing a very bad thing. King Lao Bao. And again, so it's respect to masters of Zheng Dau Lo, respect to your teacher, and respect to yourself, and my respect to you. And now, goodbye.